Pro-Ams.
Say that again. 2 drift weeks is
Two drift
more
weeks, I would say I've done more
time.
laps and more seat time than my entire drift career. So this is my 2001 Honda Element. It's been modified to be rear-wheel drive. It's got 17-inch wheels and an e-brake kit.
And there's pew-pew things.
And that's it. I mean, it's a pretty dialed car. Just kidding. It's an IS. It's my first Toyota. It's my first actual JZ car since my RB campaign was so successful. I figured, you know, 2JZ, no shit. So, bought this sight unseen off the internet from a dude in San Francisco. Brandon picked it up right before No Coast, dropped it off to me, and then we've been fixing it ever since. So, came with a racing seat, came with a hydraulic e-brake, came with a race pack dash, came with an Infinity, an AEM Infinity, which sucks, by the way, don't get those. Shout out to AEM for making such a crappy product. We put a $15-gallon radium fuel cell with surge tank in there. I was like, hey guys, I'm making like maximum of 700 horsepower, and they sent me a 2,000 horsepower capable setup of 3 420-liter per hour pumps in there.
At least you won't have fuel pump failures.
Yeah, we've got a spare wired up just in case. Because it came with a fuel cell, but it was only 8 gallons. So 8 gallons at like 13 miles a gallon, we wouldn't have made it in between fuel stops. So big thanks to Radium for helping out with this project and giving me some fuel range, because that's kind of important on Drift Week.
This is the worst position for a fuel cell ever, Dan.
Over the axle?
That high.
It's where the stock one is.
Is it?
And not in this car, but in
I feel like the stock
SC300.
one's 2 feet forward and probably farther down?
No, it's literally right over it.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
It drives fine.
Good.
So yeah, there's that. We have this is the same trailer I flipped on the first Drift Week. So I figured, you know, give it a little bit of redemption and try it again. We actually had it come off the hitch and flat spotted my wheel, which turns out, pro tip, if you have a little trailer like this, put the spare right here, because this is a trailer brake built in. Because when it comes off and your chains are dragging, that stops it from running into your car.
Why don't you put it on a bearing?
Well, I don't want it to roll, then it roll into the car. This literally stopped it on the freeway.
Yeah.
So I rotated it, and now I get another shot at it, is what I'm saying here. But the chains work. Chains work good. Also throwing that out there, we did a chain test. Everything was successful. What else we got here? This is vet damage. Custom zip tie work, custom duct tape work by Scotty Don't. Basically duct tape holding my whole car together. Been hit by the same guy in a vet twice, Ian. Shout out to Ian for
He's over there somewhere.
running into me a bunch of times.
There he is. That guy right there.
Yeah,
This guy.
that guy. I still love Ian. It's not his fault. I spun out for one. This one was 100% his fault though.
We didn't even know it happened.
We didn't know. Si was in the car. You were in the car with me when it happened. We didn't even feel it, but we just transitioned right through him. But it was enough to dent the quarter in. So yeah, there was that. We got Kansai Wheels was on board, and they sent me 10 of these beautiful Chrome Johnnies. And more importantly, GK Tech USA, my official lug nut sponsor of Drift Week 2. So big shout out for them supplying me lug nuts. They got this big, beautiful sticker.
Wait, this is just for the lug nuts?
Yeah.
The weirdest sponsors, Dan.
This is me, so I got to do
But
that.
it's the lug nuts.
Yeah, I know. It's funny to say that it's their official lug nut sponsor. I mean, who gets to
Are they
do
broken?
that? No.
They good?
These are steel ones.
Okay, good.
That's good. They're great.
Good. They look pretty.
They do. They do. Let me show you again. Pretty simple setup. Inside there, got my B&M T-handle shifter.
That's connected to a trans that won't go into gear.
That usually won't go into gear. It's going into gear now. Come
Yeah,
on, give it a little credit. Give it
Not
a
when
little
I saw
credit.
it earlier.
No. What else? What else? Oh yeah, let's pop the hood. I got my Grip Royal wheel. This is the original yellow steering wheel that Grip Royal gave me as sponsorship. Oh God, back in when they first started in 2010 or 2011.
It's an NRG.
No, that's an NRG. Just the horn piece.
They interchange the buttons?
I basically
impressive.
I took the wheel that was off.
It's an NRG hub.
Yeah, I know.
Why do you have a Grip Royal wheel?
Because Grip Royal's awesome.
Okay.
And this has literally been in my car for almost a decade, which is why it's all faded and cracked and
This is more reliable than the cars.
This wheel means a lot to me, so I've had it, and
What if it's the cursed piece that destroys all the
I
cars?
don't think it is. No.
Did you have it in your Z?
I didn't have it in the FD car because they wouldn't let me because it had to have leather around
Dan,
it.
you complain that my videos are so long. Come on, finish this video.
God, I got a lot to do. Your videos are long.
Come on, show us the engine.
All right, we're gonna show you. Get you some meat and potatoes.
We got work to do.
Oh my God. I don't know what that was. Oh.
That's the most Dan part I've ever seen. It's a firebomb thing.
Yeah, it's a firebomb. So that's my fire suppression system. I got one in the trunk as well. So when a fire touches it, it explodes.
Wait, is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just sends
You
the
can watch
car up,
YouTube
so you get a
videos
total
about it. It's
insurance
pretty sick.
claim at once.
And it's right around this area where most fires happen.
Yeah, when the electrical stuff happens.
So yeah,
The turbo stuff.
now a 1.5 JZ. We got a Garrett GTX 3076R. Some Radium catch can goodies. We underdrove the power steering pump, which seems to have helped quite a bit. Basic, simple setup, I guess.
Basic, big, simple engine swap, turbo swap, different bottom end on
Different
a different
injectors,
head,
different fuel
injectors,
rail.
different fuel system, different aftermarket fuel lines,
Yeah,
blow-off valve,
It was actually a lot
forced
of work.
induction instead of naturally aspirated, intercooler setup.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah, very basic.
Super basic.
Yeah.
1JZ, no shit. I need to write 0.5 somewhere.
Get a sticker for it.
But yeah, this is the whip, now complete with rare cracked bumper that's
Awesome.
duct taped and glued back together.
Come on, Dan, get in here. This is Officer Dan Brockett on Drift Week 2. We're here at Mid-Pond, so that means he's already blown 3 motors because it's the 4th track. 4th track?
Yeah.
5th track?
Motors,
honestly don't know that.
motors per gallon.
Ooh. So he's driven from Albuquerque to Tucson to start the event, from Tucson back to Albuquerque to replace the engine, Albuquerque back to Houston over to New Orleans over to Alabama.
Yes.
God, this is so mind-numbing, isn't it? So how many miles have you done so far on this trip?
I haven't even calculated it yet, but it's a lot.
It's got to be over
Albuquerque to
4,000.
Houston was more than
Really?
Tucson to Houston.
Okay, so you're at least 3,000 miles in at this point, probably farther. This is track day 5?
Track day 5.
Is it track day 5?
Transmission number 2. Motor number 2. No, transmission number 3.
Oh my God, R154s are so expensive now, Dan. What are you doing?
We're swapping parts from all the spares that we keep going through to get them to work.
Well, first of all, how does this compare to the first Drift Week?
Well,
You made it farther before you broke.
yes, so I made it to day 2 before I broke, which is technically the same as what I did last time.
No, he didn't even make it
but
to
I
day
didn't
1.
make it to day 1.
Yeah.
but I broke day 2.
Oh my God. No, you broke on the
broke in
way to day
Albuquerque,
1,
yes.
and then you broke before day
Day
1,
one.
or on day 1 before we went on track.
Yeah.
That's his shtick, is he breaks the car.
Yeah, I broke on the parade lap.
So why did you change from a 350Z to this, which is more likely to break? This is like a 500 wheel IS300 1JZ, now
1.5.
modified to a 1.5.
I just wanted a 4-door car,
Yeah.
and I bought somebody else's shit show. And what happened was that I was.
They're always so cheap and like enticing.
I know it was, and we were like, "Oh, this is gonna be. It's already done. The dude's already driven it. Like, it'll be fine." And then we get it back, and it just had. We took off one. We took the turbo off, and then that escalated into 500 other things that we had to fix and address. And the frame rails are welded on with peanut butter. Like it was. There was a lot of stuff. So we ended up having to work on it solid for a month.
Oh God.
And we still didn't address all the issues, obviously. And the car was advertised as 530 wheel horsepower, and we threw it on the dyno and it immediately made 700. Usually
That's
it's
the
the other
same
way
problem
around.
everyone has. Yeah, everybody's car makes too much normally.
Yeah, never. Oh, it's a 500 horsepower car. And
So it had a garbage power band.
oh, it was 6,000 RPM full spool.
Yeah.
So it was like a dyno queen, aka any Supra that's on the road. Which is, yeah, whatever. It was really fast, but it didn't work, obviously. I'm assuming that motor had been beat up.
We're about to get run over by a trailer. Scoot backside. So, we got distracted by a trailer, but that's okay. This is Drift Week. All of Drift Week is a shit show. But how is this Drift Week lining up? Since you've now done 2, you're one of the most experienced guys at this. How does this one line up with the first one?
Experienced man in the world.
You've done the most on-track repairs during a Drift Week, maybe? Anyways,
now, yeah.
So, how does this Drift Week compare to the first one?
Well, I trailered all the first one after the second event.
You can't tell people that.
But I did.
So he's one of the only people that was allowed to do that. We felt bad because he provided one of the tracks and he literally almost died, brought somebody from Japan. And then he blew a car up, and then
I just wanted to hang out with my friends.
I felt so bad.
I didn't count for any of the challenges. I was just there for cannon fodder.
So how did that work out?
Pictures.
So how does this Drift Week comparing?
So the tracks. I really enjoyed Indy. All the California tracks were. All of the tracks that we've done so far have been epic. The tire wear has been
mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing. In Tucson, I did 40 laps on a set of tires each day before I blew the motor. So I got damn near 80 laps in before we blew the motor.
You're going through either a motor or transmission before you go through a set of tires this one. Yeah, some of the guys are getting like 100 laps per set of tires. And I chose all the tracks because of the tire wear and because of everything. Oh God.
So I ordered way too many tires for what we were doing. So I had to leave some in New Orleans because I don't have room for them anywhere, and I didn't want to overfill my spots. But the tracks are better.
Come on, let's step back here real quick. We're escaping the diesel engine so we can keep going. All right, keep going.
We're dieseling. So, tire wear has been epic. There's non-stop people on the track. So a big thing, and this is why Aaron probably invited a lot more people, is that there was a lot of downtime on the tracks where you'd go out and you'd be the only one on there.
We only had 14 drivers for the entire trip.
And now every time you go out, there's going to be somebody out there. So what is there, 33?
27, I think.
27?
I honestly don't know. Could you honestly tell me how many people are at your events?
At my events?
Yeah.
We average 20 to 30.
No, I just mean, do you always know the correct number? Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, wow, okay, you're more...
It's slow.
Oh,
my numbers are low, so it's really easy to... Usually it's on 2 hands.
Hey, John!
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
John, that's the number. Okay, so I do think that this one had way better tracks for Drift Week.
And, not only the tracks being good on tire wear, all of the tracks are super good for tandem so far. Like none of them are crazy high speed, so all of the cars get to be more evenly matched with each other. Stock 350Z versus 500 horsepower 1J, and you can get stuff done. So that's been a huge part of it too. So the content's going to be better, the driving is better, it's better for people that come out to the public days, which are also new, which is really cool because people got mad at us. We had people blowing us up on every ounce of social media that they had about how much of a dick we were for not doing that.
Yeah, I mean for other reasons too, probably.
Yeah,
also
but
that.
there were people like hanging outside the fences of places and taking zoomed in 5-pixel pictures of us and just calling us jerks, and so we opened it up, and that was really cool, I think. The one thing that's really different about this trip is, since there were only 12 of us last time,
everybody was always in the same room.
everybody was always in the same house, and there was a big level of intimacy that is completely gone on this trip.
Yeah.
Like everybody's staying elsewhere, and even when we're supposed to all be staying somewhere, they lock themselves in their rooms, and so that part of it's missing, and I think that was a big part of it for us. I don't know.
But you're
if you
still
feel that
really
way.
intimate with your individual crew, and to be fair, you guys are purposefully doing that on your own as well. You guys purposefully went off in your group. You went to Albuquerque to swap your motor. You guys pit together so that you can all share tools and hang out with your crew. You isolate yourself a bit. Like at NOLA, you isolated yourself a bit over there and had your own group.
I was just by myself.
No, I'm just saying, like, I think we always go off in our cliques.
Yeah, no, everybody gets into their cliques. It's just last time it didn't feel like that.
No,
there was
I
no
agree.
clickiness at all last time, and
I think that was because Adam, Matt Field, and Chelsea kind of stuck in the same room a lot of the time, and everybody wanted to hang out with the cool kids. So
I just want to hang out with everybody. I don't.
no, but you know what I mean. Like now, there's so many cool people running all over the place. Everyone's not sticking in the exact same place.
Yeah, that's true. It's
You can go
it's a
ahead, Trevor.
different vibe. Total. Hey, Trevor, how you doing, buddy? It's good to see you, man.
Say hi to the camera. Yeah. Boom. We're in the middle of the parking lot while we're getting ready, so keep going.
But yeah, so the vibe's different. I mean, it's not bad. It's just different.
Yeah.
It's still really cool, and we still randomly see people on the streets and like driving drift cars back and forth. It's just.
It's actually that's way cooler, by the way.
It's
we've
crazy.
been randomly on parts of the trip seeing drift cars, which I keep forgetting exists, like Thomas's Miata, or all these random
Like
cars
broken
just
down,
all
or
over,
just at a gas station.
Yeah,
Or,
we were in like Fort Stockton. Everybody could have taken different paths getting places, and you're like, oh, there's a Drift Week car. They're just all over the place. We see them every day on the highway as we drive around. It's hilarious. And the cars that you would never normally see on the streets.
no, ever. And the looks that we get at gas stations when you roll in with 5 deep, liveried up drift cars that are slammed with stupid trailers on them, like it's unreal. Because there wasn't a whole lot of that last time. We were all usually pretty spread out.
Yeah.
That's another different thing. Is like the travel
I think
to and
if
from
we
everybody.
jumped up to like say 50 drivers, that would get to a hilarious note where there would be so many drift
we
cars
would be
lost.
taking over a town, and
No, that's awesome.
yeah, it would be pretty funny.
We wouldn't fit at Mid Pond very well though.
No,
No. This place looks beautiful, by the way.
looks
I'm
pretty
really
fun.
excited to drive here.
the photos are going to be epic.
Yeah.
Not of your car.
Oh.
Aw,
Yeah, so your car
sigh.
could have been a stock 1J. Why didn't you just put a stock 1J turbo and all that stuff
Because
on it?
that's just what it came with.
Yeah, you could always. So this is actually funny. Everybody always will never take a car backwards. I
did.
No, but I took the street. I made a street legal series, Texas Street Legal, and people are like, I already have aftermarket injectors with my T25, blah blah blah. And I'm like, just put stock ones back in. Oh, I'm not putting stock ones back
was
in.
our first idea.
And I'm just like, put the stock ones back in. They're like, but I spent $400 in these. I'm like, yeah, but you want to run a series, you're gonna buy safety gear, whatever, and like your car is gonna be more reliable and better. They're like, no, it's not. You're like, when have you ever in your life seen an aftermarket part last longer than a factory part?
My radium stuff. I don't know if it'll last longer, but it is still in all of the cars that I've had, and it still
Yeah.
hasn't failed yet.
Okay. You've never had a fuel pump go out?
Not in my radium stuff, no.
No?
I don't know if it's because it keeps it separate, so it cools it more. I don't know what it does, but even in my Pro-Am car that I traded a long time ago, fuel system still works.
Wow.
And that was from 2010, so that's 10 years.
How are all the engines?
Oh, the engine's been out of it like 5 times, but
Maybe
the
that's
fuel
why
system
fuel
works.
systems last they never run.
Well,
All they have to do is not rust in his cars.
the S13s had the same fuel system in it through all the different motors that it's had. So that
All
one
the
runs
RBs
periodically, and now the V8's been running since 2014. So, and it survived Drift Week, and I was the one that wasn't working on my car all the time. I only got hit by poles in parking lots.
That's because we let you trailer it.
Yeah, I know, but still.
Imagine if you had to drive that thing on the street. You would have had to work on it.
No, I wouldn't have made it.
So what's the best part about this Drift Week? And what's the worst
best part about the
best
Drift
part?
Week?
I actually think it's the tracks probably.
Yes,
The tracks have been so good.
NOLA, I think.
NOLA's insane.
NOLA was rad because it has this huge 2-story building that we all got to stay in. So that was the only place so far that we got that vibe, like we're all hanging out together, where we were just randomly in this gigantic room on air mattresses, pretending like we owned the place.
Oh, the big conference.
Yes.
Center. Yeah.
That was fantastic. I think if there were more places like that, and we could do Drift Week at tracks like that, where everybody like would be required, not just.
So we were all sleeping on air mattresses.
It's
and sleeping
mandatory
bags.
that you stay in the same place. When you can, you should make everybody stay. That should even be a challenge to make the highfalutin people stay with us peasants.
Yeah. There was a bunch of people like Trenton and Adam. They're just like,
Peace.
we're going to hotels.
They're
fancy boys.
I get it.
And hurt.
Yeah, they all do. They all
the fancy
hotel,
boys.
They stay away.
It's funny too because these guys were like Hurt and these guys were the guys that were the ones that bummed it the most back in the day.
We all did.
And now they're the fanciest ones.
And I still do.
So
That's
any
the difference.
drifter
They've made it. I haven't.
Yeah, any drifter would transition into that if they could.
Oh yeah. I mean, I still wouldn't though. I don't think. I think I would still want to hang out with people.
What's
That's
the worst part
what I
about
do.
Drift Week then? The driving on the street?
Dude. Car. Every time we get out of the car, the ears are ringing. We're probably dying from carbon monoxide poisoning.
I'm dying of it right now from all the cars in the pits.
My kidneys hurt. My back is numb. My legs, I can't use them. My feet go numb.
You did that to this car though. On like, you could have put a reclining seat and a stock seat in it.
We didn't have time. We were working on it. All the way up until literally the day before we left.
I'm actually surprised more Drift Week cars like yours, you could fit a stock seat just like in the back somehow, where you just like take it out of the track, put the bucket in, because all you have to do is travel with the bucket in the back. You don't actually have to fit the full seat.
And I have a trailer,
so
I could have
take the full seat out, the stock one, set it on the ground, put your bucket in, which would take 15-20 minutes. Go. Although with our luck, we'd strip all the bolts.
It didn't come with the seats.
Oh, I can't find a stock IS.
We just didn't have time.
Yeah, but you could if you. But I'm just saying
really
that would make
wanted
your
to.
life so much better.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
That's a weird thought.
That's a
something
pro
you
tip.
would never. That's like downgrading your car. You just wouldn't think to do that.
Right, but after doing a Drift Week, you're like, oh my god.
But now it sounds great. I would take the seat out of my Volvo and just ratchet strap it down and use that, because those seats.
I
are
believe you
comfortable.
when you say that.
Yeah, they're so comfortable.
I mean the ratchet strap part.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the worst part is driving the cars on the
yeah,
street. Which is funny though because
I didn't get to do that last time, so this is technically my first time doing that.
Some of the guys whose cars are like the Corvettes, the Corvette guys look like they're just balling out of control, having the best time of their lives driving on the street. They're driving everywhere at 100 miles an hour. They're comfortable. They're playing games.
Oh, we were watching all the YouTube guys' videos, so we watched all the Lone Star videos, and we have a little screen, and we just.
Oh, we're doing that too. That's really fun, by the way.
Watching the content and giving feedback to Brandon because he needs it.
For this videos, yeah. We just toss my phone up on the dash and we just start playing Drift Week videos.
Yeah, it's great.
It's actually really fun.
It's super entertaining. It keeps you awake.
Yeah, we're like, what did Dan do today? And you toss the phone up there and you see a whole different person's perspective of the same event that you were in, and we're trapped in cars for 10 hours driving somewhere, so it's great entertainment.
And for the first time ever, I'm actually caught up. Like, I'm uploading my video from yesterday now.
Where are you uploading it?
Phone is modem on my car right there. I'm caught up. For the last year, I was so far behind, I stopped editing.
Oh man!
Like halfway through, I was just like, I hate this so much, and I kind of learned from my mistakes. And now, I guess the way that I'm filming it and organizing stuff is a lot better. I've learned, and so it's not been so bad. It takes me about 25 minutes to edit a video, and
that's a high quality video.
I don't put music.
It takes you 25 minutes to edit a 40-minute video. You're like, I don't know what was in it.
I don't do any That's you. You do the epic sagas.
I do the 7-hour video. Okay.
Me,
How can I change the next Drift Week?
More organization with the challenges. I like the challenge aspect of stuff.
Everybody keeps telling me that, and I'm almost thinking about dropping the challenges. I'm gonna have to have somebody run. I agree.
Then make somebody else do it. Bring somebody that is dedicated to that. The problem is that everybody doesn't get to do them, so it's not really fair.
Right, but after we bring up 50 people,
you might have to get rid of them.
We're gonna have to get rid of them.
So here's another
14
thing.
people is pretty easy.
Here's another thing you could do. You could run two of these a year, do the small intimate one, and then do a gigantic one. Yeah, I know. We were already doing 2 of them a year.
It was COVID year. I had time
know.
on my hands.
Yeah. I don't know.
You did 2 in 1 year.
Yeah, I know.
This is the most time-consuming thing on Earth, by the way.
It is. It's taken up a good 3 months of my life now.
I know. Would you do another one?
Probably. I guess it depends.
Oh, by the way, I figured out why everyone would do another one. FOMO.
Yeah,
Luke Fink is messaging me from home. He's like, oh, I am so unhappy missing this. You know, like, he has so much fear of missing out.
Well, if you haven't done it, you're not going to have that. You're just going to want to watch it and be like, oh, that
No,
seems
I
cool.
think that
Well, there's some
There's
people
a lot
that
of fear of missing out.
there's some people that would be like, man, I really need to be there. But I mean, for a lot of other people, just watching it's fine.
Yeah.
But for people that have done 1 and now done 2, that is going to be real. Like, I didn't want to miss this one. I mean, I did want to miss this one because I knew.
There's both.
Because I know what's going to happen to me. It's weird.
So, well, I know.
Yeah.
You're going to blow engines and transmissions and everything else. You've now done 2 of them. I'm guessing that by the end of this one, how many laps have you done on this one?
More than I did in FD.
Okay. But I was going to say you've probably in 2 drift weeks done...
More laps than my drift career.
That's what I was just going to say. Than his entire drift career. And this is Officer Dan. He's done a bunch of big videos with, you know, the cops versus motorcycles. He did Formula D. He did a ton of grassroots stuff.
All pro-ams.
Say that again. 2 drift weeks is
2 drift
more
weeks, I would say I've done
seat
more
time.
laps and more seat time than my entire drift career combined. I'm not going to count my tire test videos because those are like 30 laps at a time.
Yeah.
Not
you can even
counting
count.
those.
But editor, make sure to put that at the beginning. Cut that out as a little blip at the very beginning. That's like the clickbait thing. I've done more laps in 2 drift weeks in my entire career.
Yeah.
And remind me in editing.
Fantastic.
Okay,
Because
that's
it's
good.
true.
Yeah.
And it
And you're not done with this one yet.
No, we
You're
still
2
have
more engines into this.
We still got a whole day to blow
Don't
a
you
motor.
put those choo-choos on me. Don't you do that to me. Oh.
Think about what it's going to be like at Freedom Factory. It's
I
going
am
to
not-
be as destructive as the burn yard.
Yeah.
Are you going to jump your car?
No. I got to drive my car home. I got to
should.
drive my car back to Houston. Thank God. I only have to go to Houston. You got a seed.
On my tooth?
No, on your lip. I didn't want it to be there for the whole video.
Just half of it? Thanks, Dan.
Hey, you're welcome, bud. I'm here for you. A dickhead would have let that stay.
It doesn't matter. My beanies are always like inside out in these videos and like I'm wearing something dumb. Okay, so anything else to chat about in this video? Anything you're passionate about right now? I love the idea of this is more drifting than your entire career.
Yeah.
Oh, think about this. Did you ever see Colette drive before?
No.
Okay, well, she is significantly better. How much better? Like twice as good?
I
3
watched
times as
her.
good?
I watched her drive in Tucson, and she was super timid, super conservative. Wouldn't let anybody drive with her. And by what we're event number 4 now?
Yeah, NOLA. By the end of NOLA, she was killing it.
Killing it, tandeming with people both ways, letting people tandem with her. So, if you want to grow as a driver, this is also a very quick way to do that.
Yes, sir. What's up? Okay, bye. Adam
Yeah.
needs a welder.
Oh, what?
That's always great. Okay, keep going.
Anyway, so yeah, if you want to get better and you want to drive with some of the best drivers on the planet randomly,
This is probably the best place to get better fast.
yes.
I don't think anything outside of Drift Week, maybe Ebisu can compare. We are doing so
not even
many.
that.
Ebisu's too scary, probably.
Yes.
Too scary.
It's scary and it's way more expensive than this. This is much cheaper than going.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know what it is, because you're utilizing your own car.
You don't have to buy a. Well, you should already have a car. I bought a car for this because I'm an idiot.
I'm an idiot too.
But it is cheaper in the long run. Plane flights, hotels. Everybody's combining stuff, so it becomes a little bit cheaper to do this, and everybody speaks the language, and you can get parts, and
yeah.
I think that's a really good point.
I didn't think about this as the ultimate training ground now. Like dudes
Well,
that
it
want to do
wasn't
Pro
before.
2.
It was just a bunch of dudes that were current pro and pro 3. That was the last one. So this one's pro 3 and below.
Yeah.
We've got guys that this is maybe like their 10th event ever.
Yeah.
The dude that bought the 240.
Oh yeah, he's in over his head.
He's in way over his head, and we had
But
a big long conversation.
He couldn't even connect a corner when he started, and now he's like tandeming. I don't know if he's tandeming, is he?
No, not yet.
Okay,
And
keep
I told him, hey, don't tandem, just follow 10 cars behind, but watch what the cars pretend like you're up there. So when a car spins out or when a car goes off track, react to it. So you know what to do when you start to get closer and closer and closer. So he's learning and he's getting feedback and picking people's brains, and you don't, at a one-day event, nobody usually has time to do that. But in between events, when we've got a little bit of time and we're in the same place, people can talk to each other.
He contacted me and I told him, I was like, you're in over your head, this isn't gonna work, all this stuff. And then I told him the car wouldn't work, and then he was so nice and everything. But the real thing is I was doing the budget at the time, and I was like, oh my God, I need his entry fee.
I can understand.
So he got
that.
in, and I think it was good that he got in. This is an eye-opening experience.
He's gonna learn today.
He's gonna learn this whole friggin' 2 weeks.
Yeah. So, and he had to buy another car.
Yeah.
That's dedicated.
He is in it. He is so in it. But the biggest thing for me is he stuck with it, and he's getting so much better. And for you and I, you remember what it was like. I got started in 2003 or 4 drifting.
Way sooner than me.
He is literally better than me in 2 weeks than I was in the first couple years of driving. And it's cheaper for him too. Even buying that car, I mean, like, we of course bought cars. We were swapping motors and like upgrading our car for as much as that car cost.
What did he buy that for?
$6,500 for a full drift car with everything in a cage.
What motor's in it?
SR, just a stock SR.
Perfect.
Yeah. If it was modified, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't.
Cool. I love the idea of this being the new training ground for stuff.
It's the new training, and again, this circles back to the tracks too. These tracks are the easiest to tandem tracks
with the best tire wear
ever driven.
Yeah.
And you get to do it over and over and over again with so many different people and so many different lines and so many different styles, and
I could almost do an advanced drift week with just tracks like Indy and Harris Hill and the others, but and they would be cool because
that's what I'm saying. You can do your two different
but they wouldn't
ones.
be as much fun.
They would
even us at very advanced levels of breaking things. I have way more fun
than others.
I have way more fun at NOLA and these other tracks than I do at the fast ones.
It is.
And Harris Hill is really fun, and it's a beautiful facility and all this stuff, but like the tandem was not close. Our entries were above 100 and something miles an hour into like
dangerous.
a hairpin. Yeah,
and especially in cars that aren't prepped to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them were, but most of them shouldn't have been going that fast. Like my Z would have probably broken first bump and went flying off into somebody, so I'm kind of glad that...
Did that on the highway.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm kind of glad.
It's called oncoming traffic.
Well, luckily...
There's no oncoming traffic on Harris Hill.
Yeah, so...
Okay, anything you want to talk about? I just always lead this. You lead it for a minute.
Well, yeah, you're doing an interview.
Yeah.
That's how it's
but everyone's like,
supposed to go.
Aaron, you talk too much.
Yeah, but now I'm not letting you.
Yeah.
I'm just... Do you have any more questions for moi? I do want to say... thank you. No, well, yes, I'd like to thank some sponsors, but I really, 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 really want to say thank you to 1010s, to Scotty, to Brandon, to Trenton, and all the guys that came with them for literally driving like 7 hours out of the way to come help me
swap a motor.
Oh my God,
you would have been on your own if you were with me. Those guys are mental for driving out of the way. I cannot believe they went to help you.
And they did it overnight. And then all through the next day.
To explain super quickly, he blew a motor in Tucson.
We sourced one in Albuquerque.
And then his entire crew finished the event at 6 or 7, no, at 2 a.m., sorry.
2 a.m.
So
we left right away.
We were driving
slept.
Right. We were driving from 5 till 2 a.m. They went and took a nap after the 2 a.m. event.
We left straight.
Right. And they all went straight over to Albuquerque,
went to 10
and then didn't sleep for like 3 nights.
No,
because we had to be in Houston. That was mental, man.
It was super mental, and then we lost all the transmission fluid on the dyno, and so then we had to swap a transmission at the last second, and then but we made it all the way to Houston, and we made it decently on time.
I have a question for you. Do you think the pacing is okay on this trip?
I really like, as much as this is stupid and it takes away from it being drift week, I really liked how casual it was at NOLA. Again, that has been my favorite stop so far, and for many reasons, even though I got run into and didn't get to drive a whole bunch, but having 4 days there basically, right?
Yeah.
Having 4 days was a huge break. None of my GoPros were charged. None of my footage was dumped. My laptop was dead.
It was 3 days, by the way.
My phone was dead. I had to reorganize my life because everything was so hectic up until then. I finally got a spot. So even if we have like one in the middle where we get to do that again, that like saved my bacon.
By the way, the pacing of that was speed sports one day. That night we drove 6 hours over to the track, got there like at 1 or 2 a.m. to NOLA, and then 2 days of driving, and then one day just packing and leaving to get here. So it wasn't 4 days, it was 2 days at the facility and then 1 day where we left. So you remember it as a long time,
yeah,
but it was still pretty fast.
Because we're working on stuff and not, we haven't showed up to one place on time because we've been working on the cars all night and we leave
I have
late.
to show up on time.
I know you do, you're the dude.
Yeah.
Hey,
So the pacing's pretty good. Oh, more 2 days at the tracks.
Yes,
Yeah.
leaving right after the event sucks so bad.
Right, but for timing, so it's not,
I know.
not drift 3 weeks.
I know.
Well, my point is would you rather have more
I would
leisure?
do less tracks, more days on those tracks.
Right, so I think we're gonna do about the same. Maybe one more venue will be 2 days. So at the end of this, we might do clutch kickers for 2 days to relax.
I got to be in New Orleans to
go.
drop people off at flights and
It was just a bonus thing to
Yeah, I
relax,
know.
not for anybody else, just for a few people to make
Appreciate
media and
that.
stuff. But I was gonna say, I think 2 to 3 of the tracks would be for 2 days, and then 1 to 2 of the tracks would be 1 days. Because I don't think speed sports needed to be 2 days.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. But having a buffer day to kind of,
Yeah.
I don't have to drive all night. Like,
It is
you
good
know
to
how it
press
is at
everything
events, right? Like, you drive really hard all day, you got to concentrate a lot, and at the end of those drift days, you're usually wasted, and then you're like, oh, well, I still got to drive 8 hours.
Yeah.
So that's brutal, and I guess that maybe that's part of Drift Week, and kind
I don't
of
know what
makes it
Drift Week is. This is made up.
Yeah, I know.
It's not
is.
necessarily a thing. We can change it. This one's significantly different than the last.
It's very different than the last.
And I think it's way better in most ways. The camaraderie is changed a little bit, but I
Yeah.
think we're on the least camaraderie team, to be honest. The
Yeah.
other teams are doing way better at that. They're all going to the French Quarter and getting dinner after stuff.
I'm
They're
always
partying.
working on my car.
Yeah,
so
I was
never
gonna say,
got
I
to do
think
that
your
anyway.
group is working on the cars because all your cars break so much. The guys with the Corvettes.
Yeah,
and all
but
the
Brandon's
other
done more laps than anybody.
things, and he's killing it.
Oh my God.
Brandon is better than he was in FD by a lot.
Oh, hands
he is
down.
killing it.
Yeah, he's slaying.
In fact, I would say he is significantly better. It's not because of Drift Week. I'm not taking credit for that. But this Drift Week, he leveled up by the time he got to NOLA. I have never seen him drive that well. Do you agree with that?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. He's just getting so much seat time right now. And maybe he dialed his car in because his
car's
cars are
dialed.
basket cases.
Yeah, usually. But he's had minimal issues, just little things, normal little things, and
Yeah.
has just been doing lap after lap after lap after lap after lap
He's
after
gone
lap.
hundreds and hundreds of laps.
Yeah, easily hundreds.
God. Okay, let's wrap this up so we can all go drive. I need to go do a driver's meeting.
Sick.
Nothing else to say?
Thanks for putting up with all of us
Yeah.
shitheads going
Thanks for
across the
putting
country.
it up with the Drift Week staff being such a clusterfuck. Give me a
I love this. I love the staff. The staff is my
No, I
favorite.
mean like the
That's you, Sai.
getting everything done. All right, thank you,
Hi.
Sai. Thank you, audience.
Yeah, I want to hug the camera.
Hug the camera.
Hot throat. Oh wow, I got a hump out of it. I'll take it. I'll take 2.
Good job, Sai.